Here's the question. How do you make the impossible possible? Simple. Remove the I am, the ego. Now, how do you step into that newfound possibility? With a series of small intentional steps. Never forget, the greatest among us started from humble beginnings. But to truly unlock your potential, realize you're here for something greater. If you're yearning for more than just a good life, let's take that small step together to reach greatness. Welcome to the Greatness from Small Beginnings podcast, where we're talking to those who have gone from mediocrity to motivated, overlooked to overachieving, forgettable to unforgettable. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, everybody. This is Greatness from Small Beginnings podcast, and we're going to talk about yet another way to be great. As you know, I'm doing a series, kind of a book report, so to speak, and I'm not telling you the name of the book. I'll give you that if you reach out, that's for sure. Best way to get to me is Instagram or Facebook, Facebook Messenger. Keith L. Callaway is my account, and that's the best way to get a hold of me. Look on Facebook for the account with the red background. That is my businessy side of the account, and I'll respond there. Instagram DM is a great place, though. This series is on the 7 decisions for success. Please go back and listen to the first 2. They are amazing. And this one happens to be number 3. So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to do a little dialogue in between, and then I'm going to read something else that I came across. Decision number 3. I am a person of action. Beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in a pit of despair, moaning over squandered time and lost opportunity. I can do nothing about the past. My future is immediate, and I will grasp it in both hands and carry it with running feet. When I am faced with the choice of doing nothing or doing something, I will always choose to act. I seize the moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. I am energetic. I move quickly. Knowing that laziness is a sin, I create a habit of lively behavior. I will work with a spring in my step and a smile on my face. The lifeblood rushing through my veins is urging me upward and forward into activity and accomplishment. Wealth and prosperity hide from the sluggard, but riches come to the person who moves quickly. I am a person of action. I inspire others with my activity. I am a leader. Leading is doing. To lead, I must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person on the run. Others are caught up in his wake. My activity will create a wave of success for the people who follow. My activity will be consistent. This will instill confidence in my leadership. As a leader, I have the ability to encourage and inspire others to greatness. It is true, an army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. I am a person of action. I can make a decision. I can make it now. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. When faced with a decision, many people say they are waiting for God, but I understand in most cases, God is waiting for me. We have a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. I am not a quivering dog, indecisive and fearful. My constitution is strong and my pathway clear. Successful people make their decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. Failures make their decisions slowly and change their minds quickly. My decisions come quickly and they lead to victory. I am a person of action. I am daring. I am courageous. Fear no longer has a place in my life. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an imposter that never had any power over me in the first place. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys, for all are the same to me. I do not fear failure, for in my life, failure is a myth. Failure exists only for the person who quits. I do not quit. I am courageous. I am a leader. I seize the moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. I have not always been that person. Just so you all know, I like the idea and I want the idea in my life, but I'm just not often that person. Not often. I have not always been that person. But that being said, I have discovered in the reading of this and other things that I need to consider taking action and then worry about the results as I go, and then perhaps adjust the action. And in business and in life, often I've not stalled out necessarily, but only took action, made decisions, firm decisions when I needed to. And I would not recommend that. More often nowadays, we have enough information. 70, 80% of all the information we have is enough to make a fairly knowledgeable decision. We don't need to keep, oh, driving into more analysis. And I have had a problem in my past with doing just that. That I will stop doing. That's what this is telling me. So, in regards to greatness from small beginnings, that's one of my small beginnings is that I started with this idea in mind that I should be more careful. I tend to be one of those people that my grandfather called me helter skelter, and he didn't mean it as an insult. He just meant that I bounced around a lot and I knew a lot. I knew a little about a lot of things, and the work I was doing, I allowed myself to go and do some things, and then the next month I'd do something different, and I enjoyed that about life, but I needed to focus. And he was right. I was and still am by nature helter skelter, which is an old term for kind of blowing in the wind a little bit. Now, the Bible talks about blowing in the wind as a negative thing, being a double minded person. And I have often been challenged with that thought as I read the Bible and become wiser in the way I do life. So do that with me. So small beginnings is me learning things, and I see a lot clearer pathway to greatness now than I ever thought I could or that I would back then. So, and back then has been a decade plus back. Literally a decade ago, I was caught in depression, and there was some things going on that just took my feet out from under me. And another thing I remember in one of the things I read recently is about having the right attitude about happiness and gratefulness is that a grateful person literally can't be depressed. Like the depression grows in ungrateful soil. And I thought, man, that's a really poignant comment. And so I will be that guy that is grateful to the point of the gratefulness being good soil. And then happiness grows from there. Taking action with confidence also can grow from there. So let me read this other thing here. So let's go be great is the idea behind that taking that action. And we can always adjust if it's not perfect action. The perfect action. So, and this picks up in the middle of a sentence of something I read, but you'll get it really fast. But what can you learn from the example of one of the greatest presidents, John Adams? Greatness comes at a cost. What will you have to give up to get what you want? Question. Will it be time? Will it be petty habits or limiting beliefs? Well, you have to give up your fears. Take action. You have to give up your fears. Remember, thoughts don't change anything until they're acted upon. Action changes everything. Adams saw himself as more than just a Harvard educated man, a great lawyer, a husband to Abigail, or even a president to a nation. Adams saw himself as a shaper of the future. He knew his actions would affect many. Therefore, he acted and spoke in a manner consistent with this understanding. What if you believe today that your actions will affect millions of people? Will you act and speak the way you act and speak now? How must you act and speak now? Not only make your dreams, but the dreams of millions come true. John Adams knew his role. He said, I must study politics and war, that my sons may have liberty to study mathematics and philosophy. He was giving something for the future. He didn't really want to study politics and war, but in his mind, he had to do it so his children would have the freedom to study what they wanted. Your role is action, acting upon what you know. John Adams knew his role. I will study politics and war that my sons may have the liberty to study mathematics and philosophy. How do you see yourself? What will you study so that the generations that come after you can study higher things and be better? What will that be? I saw an analogy, I believe it was on Instagram. I don't do much of that, but I happened to see it where it had 4 cups and they poured dirty water into 1 cup and they said, your grandparents, I think is what it said. And then the next one, dirty water in the cup of your parents. And then the third one said, you. They poured that dirty water in that cup. And then there was an empty cup next to that that didn't have anything in it. Took a giant pitcher of clear water and poured it into that third cup that was labeled you. And that giant pitcher poured fast enough into that cup, dispelled all of that dirty water, and it flowed out all over the place and left the water in the cup clear. So that what the point is that what that person passed down is clean and pure instead of what came from prior generations. I've told this story several times, but I believe with everything in me that my dad, though he was not a perfect man, he prepared the soil for me and my siblings to be able to do what we wanted. We have stumbled. We have our own garbage. We have our own dirty water. But he prepared the soil of instilling morals and ethics in our family that his prior generations did not do. His father, though he knew him, was not present. He was raised by his grandmother. His father died young, and his mother died young also. And he was raised by his grandmother, who also, I met her, and she was an ornery lady. And so he was not raised in the best environment. When he was 14 years old, he would go out and he played in a dance band and he did the worldly thing. And he started in his early teens doing that. And yet later in his life, he went to Bible school and he learned about the Bible and he learned morals and ethics that he had not learned from his family. And though he, again, was not a perfect father and he was not a perfect example all the time, he was an example to all of us in my family, of my brothers and sisters, of what a man of morals and ethics lives like. And he took a whole bunch of that generational curses and garbage, that the black water, he took it away so that I could now look at my black water and dispel it from me so that my kids and their kids can do better. So there you go. That's one of the roads to greatness, is to see things in your past, see what's going on, and then know, and then figure out how to get better. And I appreciate my father for doing that. More stories about him in the future. But this is Greatness from Small Beginnings podcast. And I always end a certain way, so let me turn to it. It's a quote from Zig Ziglar. You were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. Yes, you were, and so was I. I need to do something with it. Need to do something with it. So look forward to what that might be, right? And I hope you do too. Now, the call to action. Now go be great.